Hello from a very sleep-deprived Miles with Mallory in London. My cousin Cole and I had both studied abroad in London in college, but we really wanted to do a cousin's trip together on his winter break. Our first time flying standby internationally was a little bit traumatic, and we are still recovering, so please respect our privacy at this time. Maybe I'll make a video about it in the future, but I wanted to focus this one on our trip itself. Listen, I know people like to hate on the tube, but I love it. It is the best way to get around London. We stayed at Holiday in London at the Kensington High Street location, which had the tube stop High Street Kensington right there, just a quick walk away. I love a good hotel English breakfast buffet, and this one did not disappoint. But this right here is called black pudding. I thought it sounded harmless, so I wanted to try it, and it was kind of meaty. Well, that is because it is meat, so vegetarians learn from my mistake, but they did have veggie sausage there too. We picked this hotel too because it was such an easy walk to attractions like Hyde Park and the V&A Museum, and we knew that we could walk around them when the hotel held our luggage and we were waiting for the room to be ready. Luckily, it was ready early because we were falling asleep in the lobby, but we took a much-needed nap. Room tour coming later in the video. Our first meal out in London was McDonald's. They have such an amazing vegetarian menu, the US should take notes. This was surprisingly the only rain we had in London. We went to Regent Street to see their beautiful Christmas lights. They were still up on January 4th and not as crowded. Day 2 was our day trip to Oxford. We took the Oxford Tube, not to be confused with the tube like the London Underground train. This was a coach bus that was about $27 round trip per person, which was a really good deal. Cole just joined EDU Rome Wi-Fi at Oxford. We took 3 tours at Oxford University. The first was a 60-minute guided tour of Bodleian Library. It has English oak wood that is over 400 years old, and it also has the original manuscript for Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. You might recognize the library as a Harry Potter filming location. It was used as the restricted section of the library at Hogwarts. And our tour also included seeing the Divinity School, which was used as the infirmary in the Harry Potter films. Our next stop was a self-guided tour of New College. You may be noticing a pattern by now. We were seeking out Harry Potter filming locations. We grew up watching the movies together, so it was so cool to see them in real life. You might recognize the courtyard from the 4th movie, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. This is where Draco was up in the tree for some reason. But I'm more excited that Robert Pattinson was standing here. These are just the toilets and gift shop, but I love a good thatched roof. I was so happy to see one in person. The third and final college we toured was Christ Church. While their dining hall wasn't actually used as a filming location in Harry Potter, it was the main inspiration for the Great Hall in the films at Hogwarts. This hallway is from the scene where Professor McGonagall meets the trio for the first time, but I can't find a picture, so here's Cole instead. This corridor was also used in filming, but it was almost 5 p.m. and they were going to kick us out. Our first tour guide told us that the Bear is the oldest pub in Oxford, and I trust him.
I'm not a beer guy, but I do at this point kind of know what I don't like.
I ordered the Moroccan vegetable tagine, and Cole got Sunday roast. And we had the porter beers. Kind of like Guinness. My official review says it's kind of like Indian curry, but the couscous and feta give it like a Mediterranean twist. Very good. All the bathrooms I've been in have hand lotion, and I appreciate that. Sometimes I forget that when British people ask if you're alright, they don't actually mean are you alright, they're just asking like, can I help you with anything? The only issue with the Oxford Tube is that we really had to flag them down to stop for us to let us on to get back to London. On day 3, we went to see the changing of the guard at Buckingham Palace. Not really my thing, but they did play Bad Romance by Lady Gaga, which was so random and amazing. We had our tourist moment, but we didn't go inside the telephone booth. If you know, you know. Sometimes people use them as public toilets. Next, we walked around the National Gallery and Trafalgar Square. Cole described Pret to me as the Starbucks of London, so of course we had to get some coffee and tea. Fortnum and Mason is a little busy. It could be a tad overwhelming, but we had to buy some tea there because it's where the Queen bought her tea. I loved Poetry Pharmacy. We kind of went on a wild goose chase trying to find it, and Google Maps was not very helpful. But if you look up Lush Spa Oxford Street and go up the steps, you will find it right there. They sell prescription bottles that have poems in them to cure you, but some of them are poisons, some of them are remedies, so whatever you're looking for. It's a really cute and clever idea for a store. They kind of remind me of like fortune cookies. If you're a fan of poetry, literature, or Shakespeare, you should definitely check them out. We walked to Apple Market in Covent Garden where they're selling antiques and collectibles, and I had seen pictures of their Christmas lights, but I did not expect them to still be up on January 6th, but they were, and I'm so glad we got to see them in person. Cole introduced me to a lot of shops, but I think Whittard was my favorite because of their tea and hot chocolate samples. Moment jump scare. We went to Bella Italia for dinner. Cole had the classic spaghetti and meatballs, and I had mushroom risotto. I had it last time I was here at Borough Market, so I was really craving it. We ended the night at Lamb and Flag, a pub that Charles Dickens used to frequent, and it's also famous because they hosted bare-knuckle fights. On our 4th and final day in London, we went to the Natural History Museum. There's so many cool things to see, but honestly, I'm there for the dinosaur exhibits, and it's a Paddington filming location. The Churchill Arms is the cutest, prettiest, quirkiest pub ever. That's a tongue twister. We went for afternoon tea, but they also serve authentic Thai cuisine and drinks, of course. I can't even imagine how gorgeous the outside of the building looks in the spring and summer when the flowers have bloomed. Oh my goodness! Next, we went up 35 floors to Sky Garden. It has a botanical garden inside and panoramic views of the entire city. It is free to enter, but we did book our tickets a few weeks in advance, I want to say, on their website. Drinks were a little pricey, but it was happy hour, so it cancels out, right? So let's take a moment to recognize Cole's portrait mode photography skills. Honestly, this was so fun and one of the highlights of our trip.
We could do Northern.
My water spilled. They're gonna think I peed. They're never gonna let me back in here. It's too fancy for us. I think we picked the perfect time to visit, from golden hour sunset to seeing the city all lit up. We took a stroll through Leadenhall Market to see, surprise, surprise, another Harry Potter filming location. This door was the entrance to the Leaky Cauldron in Diagon Alley. And finally, we went to the Black Dog Pub. If you're a Swiftie, you already know Taylor Swift wrote a song about this bar. Right. I still don't think Cole has listened to it yet, but he was very supportive of my fangirling.
It's kind of most of it's lemonade.
Mind the gap.
please.
We have a TV we didn't use, a couch we did not use, or love seat, I guess. A snack table.
None of which we ate.
True. We have 2 twin beds. I mean, we a little close together. We each had our own nightstand and nice lighting.
You can actually roll the beds around if you'd
A
like.
little mirror. That is true. Nice safe and closet and fridge. Overall, I know London rooms are small, but pretty nice. It was just our little home base. And we remembered that in a lot of London hotels, the key card has to be in there for the lights to go on. We took the Eurostar train to Paris, which was overall a really smooth experience. And bonus, we got our passport stamped. In London we're small. The ones in Paris are even smaller. We stayed in a smaller boutique hotel in Paris. The staff was really friendly and accommodating to tourists. We were spoiled with our English breakfast in London. This one was more grab and go. Liking the looks of this bathroom, but for one night, it is perfect. We have a closet, cute details, old desk, cute details, fridge, and a bottle opener, and a TV. We only found one outlet, which is a little unfortunate, but we'll make it work. This crepe looks really sad, but I promise it was delicious. Being able to tour the interior of Notre Dame very shortly after it reopened was such a humbling experience. Just knowing its history and with the organ playing in the background, it was so powerful and gave me chills. We weren't allowed to take any pictures or videos inside of Shakespeare and Company, but we did browse through all the books and we bought matching tote bags. Getting to the entrance of Sainte-Chapelle was a bit of a challenge. There was a very strong armed police military presence, and they did have some areas blocked off, but I'm very glad we didn't give up because the stained glass was unlike anything I have ever seen before. As you can tell, we did have a very rainy day in Paris, even rainier than all of our time in London, which was really surprising, but we were determined to make the best of it because when in Paris. I don't think my mind could comprehend 53 acres. That's crazy. I was amazed by the size of the paintings and the sculptures in the Louvre Museum, not to mention how huge it is. I think we genuinely could have spent all day in there. Although I strongly recommend planning your visit for the evening, there were no crowds. I mean, it's a very famous museum, so yes, there's always going to be people there, but I felt like we could get up close to all the paintings and nobody was in our way. Just at least give yourself a few hours because they do start closing off rooms and cleaning about 30 minutes before close. We ate dinner at about 9:30 p.m., which is common in Paris. Ironically, the french fries were just okay, but I think it was the best veggie burger I have ever had.
Like how you held the silverware still too.
We ended up getting a bonus night in Paris, so we grabbed dinner across the street from our hotel.
Oh, to be a bear in a hammock swing.
I still think about this French onion soup every day. Then I convinced Cole to go on a 50-minute walk in January to the Eiffel Tower because, again, when in Paris.
Ah!
Turning the corner and seeing her all lit up was so magical.
No signs.
So we attempted to take the train back to our hotel, and maybe we're just more experienced with the tube, or it was the language barrier, or maybe it was just us, I don't know. We just felt like the signs at the Paris train stations weren't as clear, but we'll learn for next time. Now, I don't really speak French, but this seemed a little dramatic. Here's a little airport souvenir haul I added to my magnet collection, and I have to get paprika Pringles whenever I am in Europe. This little French boy came up to me and said, "Bonjour." So I let him play Pokemon Go on my iPad, and then his dad downloaded it for him on his phone so he could play. It was the cutest thing. That's all for this video, friends. Thanks for watching, and remember to always pack Tupperware for your croissants.